Hi everybody, this is Harmony from Harmony Stitches. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me today to talk about my crafting, which is cross stitch, knitting, and crochet. This is episode 14, I believe, and I want to thank everyone that has subscribed, liked, and commented on my videos. Thank you to everyone that has come over either from Cassie Jo Stitches or Amy Loves Toads. It was great for both of those ladies to mention my channel here and to ask people to come check me out. Thank you, ladies. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and dive right in. I have quite a few things to talk about. Usually I talk about finishes if I have any, whips, wheel spins, purchases, and other items that come up. So first I want to talk about the Knit-A-Thon. Let's just go ahead and talk about that. Last Sunday was the Knit for Food Knit-A-Thon organized by Laura Nalkin of Nalkin Designs. Quick wrap up, there was over 700 knitters that participated. We raised $270,000, which is amazing. So one of the things that I said that I was going to do was anyone that donated via my campaign link, $25 or more, would go into a drawing for a set of dishcloths and a scrubby. I did do the scrubbies in advance of the knit-along or the knit-a-thon, so that way I can make sure that those were included. I did get the 4 dishcloths done, and I got most of one Chemo Cap done. I said I was going to knit some of those. It did take me a lot longer than I anticipated to do the dishcloths. And then I had to knit the hat using the magic loop method, which is not my favorite. And there, I had a little bit of struggle. I had to start over once, which is fine. It's okay. But I did finish that up on my lunch breaks this week, so I have those to show you. So this is the Chemo Cap. It is showing up a little bit brighter than what the yarn actually is, but the brim has this nice little lacy detail. I think it makes it look like a crown. This is used, I can't remember the yarn that's used. I don't have the tag with me, but it is a worsted weight. I used US size 6 doing magic loop. The only problem with this is I accidentally cast on, and I didn't know this until I got to the crown decreases. I cast on for a child's hat, but I knit the length for an adult's hat. So it's for a child, and it probably will end up being a little slouchy unless that child has a little bit bigger of a head. But I will get this washed and blocked and then find a charity for this one since it is a child size. I was going to donate it to a local mom who is battling cancer, but obviously I don't think it's going to fit, which is okay. It's fine. I'll knit some more, but I'm on the hunt for 16-inch needles, so that way I can just knit them in the round and I can zip through, so that way I don't have to use the magic loop. Because usually when you're knitting in your preferred method, you tend to knit faster. You're more happy about the process. So I want to get the needles that I prefer. So here are the 2 scrubbies. They're exactly the same. I use the same color, Jade from Red Heart Scrubby Cotton. Those 2 got done. I got the ends woven and everything. I'm just going to wash them so that way the recipient doesn't have to worry about color bleed. I don't know if these bleed or not, but just on the off chance that the colors do, I'm gonna fix it. So here's the 2 orange ones. As you can see, there's a little bit more of a solid and then the variegated with the white in the middle. This one has more variegated there in the big orange stripe. So there's 2 of those. And I'm showing you just so that way you guys can keep me honest that I did what I said I was going to do. And the green. And here I'm going to put a wheel spin to show who won, and then I will contact them and get their address to mail them out. Okay, so there's those. I do have a cross stitch ready for display. I promised you 2, but I only got to 1. I'll get to the other one later today, and then I'll have that to show you in my next video. This is the Liberty Chalkfull by Hands On Design, artwork by Priscilla Blaine. This is the small one that's included in the chart. This little stand is from the Pioneer Woman from Walmart last season. And it said like kitchen help wanted on it. So I just put my stitching with a piece of black felt and a piece of cardboard, hot glue, Then I did another piece of cardboard with some blue fabric, stuck them together, and then put it on here. So that will just sit on the bookshelf. So that's cute. Happy to have something done. I know it's been quite a few months since I've actually finished something to show you, so I was really excited about that. Okay, next item is whips. So last week I did film on Saturday and post my video on Sunday. So Saturday afternoon, once I got the video done, I did continue working on George Decorates for Martha, which was my new start spin for last week. So I just have a little bit to show you. I only put a couple more strands in, but I was really excited to get to her dress. So here's what happened. Last week I showed you some floss that my daughter and I went to pick up from my local needle workshop, and she did not pick out the Ye Old Gold by Classic Colorworks. And I said, oh, but you didn't grab that one, because she was helping me by grabbing the floss while I talked to Colette, the owner, about something else. And she said, no, I have some in my project and you can use some of that. So I thought that was really sweet of her. I don't know if I told you guys that last week, so I just wanted to give her a little shout out. Thank you so much, daughter, for sharing your Ye Old Gold with me. So I did put that here. It is the Ye Old Gold is the color of her apron or the front panel of her dress, and it's also the legs of all the birds. So I will be using a little bit, but she should have plenty. There should be plenty left over to go back into my daughter's project to finish what she needs. So she hasn't stitched in a while, but she is stitching on the first, is it Early Americans by Little House Needleworks, I believe. Don't hate me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what it's called. So I did put a strand or two of the Ye Old Gold in her dress, so I'm happy about that. So this one did make its way onto the wheel spin for whips. So it may come back shortly. My other wheel spin, well, that was previous whip from last week. My wheel spin for a whip was Words to Live by Tiny Modernist. I did not get as much done on this as I would have liked. I did not get a block finish necessarily. You'll see what I'm talking about. This is a pretty large project. But I do have almost four complete blocks. So this block here that says nothing worth having comes easy. There was a little bit of stitching that I needed to do there. It's all done except for some back stitching by the green leaves. I didn't do the back stitching yet. I wanted to move on to something else. And then I was kind of freaking out that I didn't leave myself enough room on the side. So what I did is I stitched the borders over far enough where I could then easily count. It's fine. It's the same amount on this side and this side. It just is deceptive. It looks small. So then what I did is I started the curlicues in the corner of the big piece. The big piece in the middle is actually 2 squares by 2 squares, so it's equal to 4. And then I started stitching there. So that's like rays of sun, the snow on the top of a mountain here, and then a couple trees. And then I came up here and started looking, the word looking. What I was trying to do is, because I knew that I was running kind of behind on this piece, I was looking for blocks of color that I could put in, because it was taking me, I did a lot of this up here, this fancy work, because that was taking me a long time because I had to count so much and make sure that I was on track. And then I was counting and counting over and over on the side to make sure that I was having enough, because I didn't want to continue on the piece if I wasn't going to have enough fabric to finish it. So I was looking for block letters, and then down there the blocks of color in the sun, so that way I could go a little bit quicker. So I did get some progress done, just not as much as what I would have hoped. And here are the colors. They are a hot mess because of being tossed in and out of my bag. I did put them on here in a kind of a rainbow fashion, but it's all DMC. 2 colors of orange, 2 colors of yellow, 3 colors of pink, 2 of green, 1 blue, 2 purple, and a white. So they're all pastel. And I have some extra because I bought what the Tiny Modernist designer told me to buy, according to her pattern. Okay, then my new start for the week was Bee Study. I think you will see that I spent, besides pandemic, I spent most of my time here because it was really exciting and it was fairly easy. So don't be mad because I got less work done on that one and more work done on this one, but it's so cute. So this is Bee Study by Kathy Barrick. I got the ABCs done, bees, and it says of bees, so I need to do of. I got almost the entire bee done, the big one. I'm missing that color, or I was. I went to Joann's and picked up some floss. And then I found that the color of the wings, I found that in my stash. I thought I was missing it, and then I found it. That's why I didn't buy it, because I knew I had it. So I put this on my wick wheel, so this could come up in the future as well. So I got quite a bit done. There's a bee on either corner, and then I have to finish the word of, finish the bee and his wing, and then I'm moving on to the second half. Oh, let me show you what it looks like. I didn't show you, I'm sorry, I didn't show you the other ones. I have to dig this out. What I do is I put, the pattern is on the other side, then I put the color key on the opposite. So then the cover photo is actually on the inside, so I have to take this out in order to show you. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So as you can see, I'm almost done with that side, and it's like a book laid open flat. You get to customize it with your own name. You can see it says K Barrick. This side might take me a little bit longer, friends, but it's okay. It will get done. So that's a bee study. And then pandemic. So if you've been following me, this is a stitch along that I started in my local Michigan cross stitch group, because I'm from Michigan. We did a couple of Zoom calls, and some people were mentioning that this piece kind of scared them. The big pieces scared them. And I said, well, it can't be that scary if we stitch it together, right? So January 1st, we started stitching this. Some people were already stitching it, so they're joining us, you know, kind of trying to give each other motivation to get through this big piece. There's over 27,000 stitches in it. This was released by Long Dog Samplers last year in 2020. It was actually designed for their 20th anniversary piece for 2021, but they decided to release it early. So I'll go ahead and show you. My goal is 8 strands a day. I had about 3 pages done the last time we talked. I am close to equivalent of 4. I cannot believe how much progress 8 strands gives you. And I apologize if I give you a weird shot. I can't, when I hold this piece up, I can't see the camera, but I'll do my best. Okay, so this line is where I was last time. I put in all of this, which is almost half a page. I did go up a little bit more on the corner of the page because I had some stitches left on that page to do. But then, as you know, I did some up there too. So, but this whole motif here, this flower and this is a big star. On the other side, it says 20 for 2021, or well, 2020, but I obviously stitched 21. My goal is to have this done this year. So I challenged myself. It's in there. I got to get it done. But that whole flower section is mirrored on the other side of the big star. There's like a big flower pot in there. So there's a lot of stitching, but in the other sections of that page, it's pretty open. There's a couple of birds here and a couple of birds there. So it's pretty open. So I'm pretty confident that I can get through most of that page by the end of the month, which means I will have almost 2 full pages done, which is my goal. I might actually get equivalent of 2 pages done because I did some on those other pages. So that's my whips. That's what I worked on this week. I know that you probably will get bored of seeing pandemic, but as it grows, it's going to be pretty exciting. When I have to move it off the frame, move the frame next time, I'm going to take pictures and then show you what it looks like as a whole, so that way you can get an idea of how large it is, what's going on with it. It's just a bunch of craziness, but it's actually a really fun stitch. This week I tried to get to that part that said 21 because there was a lot of solid stitching, and you know, it's faster to get my 8 strands in versus the parts where I have to count a lot. But even so, I think I'm getting pretty good progress. So now we're on to wheel spins for this week. I did learn that I could do my wheel spins and use my screen recorder feature on my iPhone to do these in advance. So I'm still going to show them to you, but I thought it was a little unfair because it was hard to see because of the lighting coming from my window. And also then I was struggling to pull my whips out or my new starts out here during my video. So I wanted to be efficient and fair to you all. So I'm going to insert a little video of the wheel spin for my whip. And my whip for this week is Knock Knock by Prairie Schooler. And if you remember, I had almost the entire house done, almost the entire witch. I started on the moon and I had almost the only thing I didn't have down here done was the back stitching and the stems on the pumpkin. And then I started on these. I did put 4 strands in before I came up to do my video. So this is where it's at. I put a little bit more on the witch. I finished the border, finished the moon. I had a little bit on the fence and I started a leaf. So that's what I did with 4 strands. Is it possible to get this one done this week? Maybe. It's just mostly what I have left is all of the finicky stuff, all of the things that take a lot of counting. I think I might be able to get it done, but I can't promise anything. But if I do, that means 1, I get this set done because this is the number 5 out of, there's 5 of these little charts from Prairie Schooler. This is the 5th one. I have the other 4 done. And 2, there's 1 less Halloween piece on my wheel. So that's exciting. And then here's the video for my new start for the week. Yep, Prairie Schooler Witching Hour. I just chuckled. I chuckled when it came up because I'm like, of course I have 2 Prairie Schooler Halloween pieces. So there's that. This one actually, the orange that it calls for, even though it looks pretty bright on the screen or on the cover photo, this is the color of the orange. And I think I'm going to continue to use the DMC 921 that is called for in the other ones. So this is the 921. Just so that way there's a little consistency between the 2 pieces, or all of the pieces. So I'm going to use the top one, I think. I don't know. I will decide when I get into it. This one also calls for the brown on the house, and it looks like some of the owls. I did buy the brown, which is DMC 898. So I did buy it. So I'm going to use it. I did choose, you know what? I have not been telling you at all the fabrics. Wow, I'm a hot mess this time. Everything, Words to Live By is on 14 count black Aida. Knock Knock is on 14 count white Aida. Everything else is on 28 count Monaco. Coffee Tea Dyed. Witching Hour is going on 28 count Monaco, but I'm leaving it the way it is. I believe this is Antique White. I can't be for sure because remember I get this from an online retailer. I ordered Antique White and something else at the same time, and they didn't have little stickers on them or anything, so I don't know which ones they were. I think it's Antique White, but it is similar to the lamb's wool that Pamela Bird used at the Prairie Schooler. So I even have, I even measured in and measured up. I have my starting stitch, so I'm ready after I film this video and go back downstairs. I'm stitching on this. Well, to be honest, I have a huge mess down there on the kitchen table from when I finished Liberty. I'm going to finish Beehives Matter when my husband wakes up from his nap, and then I'm gonna clean up my mess, and then I'm gonna do laundry, and then I'm gonna stitch. So I am gonna get to it today. I am going to put at least 8 strands in to get started. I start in the bottom right. Is that the bottom right? That's the bottom left. It's the same on either side. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna start with the tree, and I'm gonna put 8 strands in the tree. You know what else I'm gonna do today? I am going to take this yard of ivory 28 count Monaco, and I'm gonna coffee dye it. Because this is why. Owl Forest Embroidery is having a stitch along, and if you've ever seen Owl Forest Embroidery, their things are cute. I did one of their freebies earlier. I think I showed it in one of my first videos as a previous finish. It was pumpkins. A couple years ago, they did a Wizard of Oz stitch along, and it's free. You can buy the kits from them with the, I don't know if you can buy a paper chart from them because it comes out weekly or bi-weekly, but you can buy the fabric and the floss. So it is free. It's fabulous. I have the pieces downloaded. It's ready to go. I just need the floss and the fabric, and I'm excited to get to that someday. But this Alice in Wonderland is on Country Mocha, and it uses, there's 2 different colorways. One is a pink, green, and ecru, and then the other one is like 13 different colors or 14 different colors. And so you need a fabric that the ecru is going to show up on. So I thought, well, this ivory is it's like a pale yellow color. You can kind of see it in the video. And I don't know what else I would, excuse me, I don't know what I would stitch on it the way that it is, but I know I will stitch on it when it's coffee dyed. So I don't think I'm going to put the tea in it this time, but I think I'm just going to try the coffee and dye the whole entire yard, and just lightly because it's already yellow. So if I just lightly coffee dye it and then put it in the oven and let it dry, bake it dry, then it will be perfect. And I'm thinking it will be a not exact replica of Country Mocha because I'm not a fabric dyer, but I think it will work to show the ecru. I was kind of interested in, I can't show you a picture because nothing has been released yet, but I was kind of interested in the 3 colorway version, but my husband thinks that I should go with the full colorway version. I haven't talked to my daughter about it yet, so we'll see. I don't know. It starts on Friday, and I forgot to buy the floss, so I'm going to have to go after work one day. I hate going places after work. I want to just get home, but it's okay. All right, now we have purchases. I still had some of my money left over. And Saturday, April 17th was local yarn shop day. So I have 2. I have the one right in my small town, and it's called Victorian Purses by Sue. She actually started out in her garage teaching classes on how to knit with beads. And not just knit with beads like Laura Nelkin does. She does that a lot. But these beads are small. They're seed beads, and you string them on pearl cotton and knit with, they're called 04, like 4 zeros, 0000 needles. And it's really tiny, but it's really fun. I've made a few. How about next video I bring them and show you? I have one in the works, but it's not that I don't like the pattern. I don't like my tension on it, and it's weird. But, so that's what she specializes in, but she does sell knitting needles, crochet hooks, yarn, and other craft supplies. So I went there, and I bought dishcloth cotton, because I had a request from a coworker who saw all of my Knit-A-Thon posts and said, hey, are you selling dishcloths? And I said, I can. So she wants 5 total. So I'll probably do 2 blue, 2 yellow, and a white. So that's what I bought from Victorian Purses by Sue. Then I went downtown and to the SVRC marketplace to the Little Yarn Shop, which is owned by Kristen. And she has so much yarn in there. It's mostly all hand dyed, some commercial. And I always gravitate to the hand dyed yarn because the commercial you can get anywhere. at any time pretty much. So I found, it's from Ridiculous. This is the name, and this is the color. It's absolutely crazy. It has almost every color of the rainbow. I was going to get one to match it to make like a 2-skein shawl, and I just couldn't find one. I'm like, I don't know what solid color to put with this. My husband kind of picked one out that was like that color, and I'm like, I don't know. I think that would make it too dark. So if anybody has any ideas of what color, a solid color I should put with this, I'll keep an eye out for it next time. This is the Addy Socks base from Ridiculous. It's fingering weight, 463 yards. And I don't know if this is the color name or not, but this is what is handwritten. Oh, look, another glorious morning makes me sick. And it says Winifred. So Winifred, somebody must have said that. I don't know. I heard somebody else say it was on a needle minder that somebody on a different video showed. I also got an 8-inch cable from Chiagu. It's their twist red lace interchangeables. So that way I would have a smaller cable. Right now the needle tips that I have are 5 inches. So if I put the 5-inch needles on here, it'll make it 18-inch. 18-inch. I need a 16, but I told them I needed this anyways. So even if it doesn't work with my current needle tips, when I get the 4-inch set, then this will be perfect. So I supported Kristen at the little yarn shop. Oh, and if you were one of the first 20 people to show up and make a purchase, you got a gift. And the gift was this little bag. It's like almost not a bag, but a bag. And this would be perfect to put a tiny pair of scissors, some stitch markers, or I told my husband some chocolates, so that way you always have some chocolates while you're knitting. Because sometimes when you're knitting, you need some chocolates because you get to that lace row that's like, okay, and then we were making the rounds, and we went to Joann's, and I grabbed some floss, and then I wanted to get the punch needle and primitive stitcher. This one has bees on it. I don't know if you can see it really well, but it has bees. There's some in here that I may not stitch. There's one on the back cover that has a cat. And I don't own cats, but I have that pattern now in case I wanted to make a gift stitch for somebody. Then I have it. I bought it because I wanted the Buffalo Plaid Spring by the Stitching with the Housewives. Chelsea and Priscilla. They do have a channel here on YouTube. This is them with Priscilla's dog, Ronnie. So I wanted that one, but there are a couple in here that I will stitch. There's a couple with rabbits with dresses on. I won't stitch that, but definitely the one with the bees. It's by Leela May Designs. So here's a, I don't know if you can see it really well, but that's the other one that I wanted to stitch. Hopefully I didn't flash the pattern. That was the product list. Okay. Okay. So that was my whips, my spins, my purchases, the Knit-A-Thon recap. I think that's all I have for you today. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put them below, and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. I do check those every day or every other day throughout the week. I try definitely to get to them before I post the next video, so that way I'm all caught up. Again, thank you to everyone who has subscribed, has been watching my videos, everyone that's new that has come over from other channels. Thank you so much for giving me a try. I hope that if you found something in this video that you liked at all, if you were inspired or anything at all, go ahead and click that like button and show me some love, so that way I know for sure that I can continue to do this and do it again next week. I do want to say that I'm not monetized. I don't put ads in my videos. So if you do get an ad, that's just YouTube, and I hope that you don't mind. I'm not getting anything from it. It's just YouTube. And I just noticed that because I checked my channel from my phone. I was signed in from my personal account, and I checked and there was an ad, but I didn't put it there. So I just wanted to throw that out. I will never monetize. Other than that, thank you so much for supporting me on this weird and crazy journey that I've gotten on, and I will see you next week.